Okay, hello everyone. Welcome. Come on in. I am Lily from the enablement team here at Superhuman, and I am joined by Megan, our incredible chief of staff. A few quick housekeeping notes before we get started. This session is being recorded, and we will send you the recording and a helpful cheat sheet. Feel free to drop any of your questions in the Q&A tool. We have some of our incredible superhumans ready to answer as many of your questions as we can. We're going to hang around after the 30-minute mark for a little while to answer some more questions live in case you feel like you need more time. Finally, be sure to fill out the very short survey when you leave the Zoom because your feedback is so important to us and we take it to make sure that we make these events super helpful for you. All right, I am going to hand things over to Megan to kick things off.
Amazing. Thank you, Lily. And hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Um, my name is Megan, and I'm the Chief of Staff at Superhuman. I'm so excited to be here and talk about one of my favorite topics, how simple, consistent rituals can fuel productivity both for an individual and scaled across an organization. So to start, I want to share a little bit more about what I do at Superhuman. My job really has a few main components. First, I partner with our CEO, Rahul, to make sure he's focused on the right priorities and set up for success each day. Second, I work with our executive team to push cross-functional projects forward and ensure the business is accelerating towards its outcomes. And third, I run internal operations, so the rhythms that help drive us, our work across the organization. Now, no 2 days are ever the same. So to stay on top of all of it and add some consistency to my day, I rely on a few personal rituals. So I begin and end each day the exact same way. In the morning, I do what I call my start the day ritual. I check calendars, both for myself and Rahul. I make sure I have a clear list of priorities and I get to inbox zero, not just in email, but also in Slack. At the end of the day, I do the exact same thing, but in reverse. I make sure I followed up on my meetings and tasks. I look ahead to tomorrow. I confirm my top priorities. And once again, I clear my inboxes. These simple habits, both morning and evening, keep me one step ahead. When I do them, my head is clear, my mental state is so much better, and I'm able to be proactive instead of reactive. That proactivity creates a ripple effect, not only for the people I work with directly, but it cascades across the organization. Given how powerful these rituals have been for me personally, I've worked with the team to build organizational rituals that help everyone at Superhuman do the best work of their lives. So, why do we do this? Because we really believe that how we work is how we win. How we get things done, what we focus on, and how we execute directly affects the outcomes we drive for all of our customers. So, here are a few examples of rituals we've implemented at Superhuman. First, Monday morning updates. Every Monday morning, our leaders share async email updates through Superhuman, of course, to ground us in our goals and results. So these typically include progress updates towards our OKRs and company outcomes. They include highlights and wins from the past week, priorities for the upcoming week, as well as risks that we can help tackle together. This really keeps everyone aligned, as well as freeing up meeting time. So instead of talking through routine updates during live meetings, we get to spend our time together on high impact discussion and debate. This all really helps drive a culture of alignment and velocity. Second, meeting outcomes. So every single meeting we have on the calendar has clear outcomes listed right in the calendar invite. This helps enforce a disciplined meeting culture, brings clarity to what we want to achieve together during a meeting, and helps use our time together really effectively. And finally, my personal favorite, and I know a fan favorite for most superhumans as well as our alumni, is our tradition of Friday wins. Every Friday, the whole company comes together to celebrate progress and to tie what we've done back to the impact we're having on our customers. So our teams share wins, people share personal wins if they feel comfortable, and we get to see customer love. This really helps keep morale and motivation high and connects us back to our mission and why we're here. Once again, these rituals are simple, but they are so powerful. They keep our organization fast, focused, and aligned. Next, I want to talk about how we roll out internal initiatives and drive change. One way we like to drive a productive organization is with tools and processes to help our teams move with velocity. When deciding which initiatives to prioritize, we focus on the ones that best ladder up to our business outcomes. So, for example, right now that means speed. The market and AI are moving so fast, so we need to move even faster. To enable our team to move with more velocity, we ran a program earlier this year called How Superhuman Uses AI. This initiative gave our team access to new AI tools and enablement to work faster, cut the busy work, and focus on those really high impact tasks. When we roll out something new, we always start with the why and share this directly with the team to create excitement and buy-in. So, what is the problem we're solving and what impact do we want to drive? From there, we pilot with a small group, work out any of the little kinks, measure the impact, and then scale from there. Lastly, I want to share one of my favorite ways we make adoption easy through something we call Quick Win Wednesday. Every Wednesday during the initiative or program, we run a short 10-minute challenge to help the org build new habits in small, compounding ways. Our teams are so busy, so they don't have time to spend setting up complex systems and processes. So these quick win challenges make change both approachable and fun, and those small wins really add up over time. Now, of course, not everything lands perfectly. Over time, we've learned a few key things about what makes rituals stick. And one of those things is simplicity drives adoption. The rituals that fail or don't stick are usually the ones that are overcomplicated. And so lightweight, repeatable practices always scale best. And this is something I personally love about Superhuman. Both the product and the culture are built around these simple, repeatable rituals that compound into major productivity gains over time. So it looks like my time is just about up, so I want to leave you with 3 takeaways. First, small rituals create big results. The habits we repeat every day, clearing inboxes, sharing updates, celebrating wins, build momentum that compounds over time. Second, anchor everything you do in outcomes and solving specific problems. Whether it's a meeting, a project, or a new ritual, always start with the result you're trying to drive. Outcomes create clarity and alignment. And finally, keep it simple. The most powerful systems are the simplest ones. When we make things easy to adopt, they actually scale, and that's how change sticks. So you might wonder, why are we talking about rituals during a webinar on Inbox Zero? Because at Superhuman, Inbox Zero is one of those foundational rituals, a daily practice that helps keep us aligned, fast, and focused, both individually and as a team. And no one can explain why Inbox Zero matters and how to actually get there better than Lily. So with that, Lily, I'm going to pass it back over to you.
Thank you so much, Megan. I'm excited to dive into Inbox Zero with all of you today. And we are celebrating the culmination of our Inbox Zero Day and Inbox Zero Week, where we brought together all of the best Superhuman Inbox Zero tips into one focused experience. Now, here at Superhuman, Inbox Zero is more than just an idea. It's central to how we save time, feel less stressed, and regain focus. And my goal today is to show you why Inbox Zero matters, how to achieve it, how to maintain it, and even more importantly, maybe how to get back on track if you've ever fallen behind. I'm wondering if you have ever felt chained to your inbox. I know I have. According to the Harvard Business Review, the average professional checks their inbox 15 times a day. Yikes. Does that sound familiar? We've all been there, right? You start your workday with a chaos of unread emails. They all demand your attention. And you've got a cluttered inbox where critical tasks get buried and your stress levels start to soar. Now let's contrast that with the calm of Inbox Zero, where only the essential emails greet you each morning. So how do we get there? The first step is to process the emails in your inbox, and more importantly, in your most important split. And in mine, that most important split is important. I recommend that you think of the emails in my split as a to-do list, but only as a to-do list for today. We're going to process all 14 of these emails without responding to any of them. Instead, I'm going to ask myself this question. Is this email something I need to do today, a different day, or am I done with it? And those are the only three options. If it's an email that I'm done with, I'm going to save it to my done folder where it's saved forever, it's searchable, accessible, and retrievable. If the email is something that I don't have time for today, I'm going to set a reminder on it and it will live in this reminders folder until the day and time I'm ready for it to come back to the top of my inbox. And finally, if there's an email that I need to handle today, I'm simply just going to leave it in my inbox so that it becomes a part of my to-do list for today. So here's what that looks like. I'm going to start at the very top of my inbox. I'm going to open that email, take a look at it, and ask myself that question. Is it for today, a different day, or am I done with it? Well, this one's actually done. I'm going to save this to my done folder by hitting E, like E for empty the inbox. And now I'm at the next email in my inbox. Here's that same question. Today, a different day, or done? Well, this one I don't have time to get to today. I'm going to set a reminder on it by hitting H for the hour I want to be reminded. And you'll see this little black box appear. You can type in whatever you want here. You could type in, 1W for 1 week, or 2D is enough for 2 days. I could type in November 3rd at noon. In this case, I'm going to type in, let's do Friday at 9:15 a.m. And I'll hit my enter key. It goes right into my reminders folder until that day and time. And now I'm at the next email in my inbox. Is this for today, a different day, or am I done with it? Well, this one is for today. I mentioned I'm going to leave this alone in my inbox, and this is going to become the first item on my to-do list for today. And the best way to do that is to hit J, like J for today. So there's only three options. E for empty, to save the email to your done folder. H for the hour you want to be reminded, to set a reminder on that email. And J for today, to leave that email alone as part of your to-do list. So I'm going to process the rest of these emails very quickly. This one's done, E for empty. This one I'm done with as well, E for empty. I need to follow up on this today. I'm going to hit J. This one is for tomorrow. I'm going to hit H for the hour I want to be reminded. TOM is enough for tomorrow. Let's have it come back at 10. And I'll hit my enter key. J for today, E for empty, J for today, E for empty, H for the hour I want to be reminded. I'm going to kick this off for about a month. E for empty, J for today. And by the time you get to the bottom of your inbox, you've processed all your emails. What's left is a focused to-do list for today. That's it. And this is where you get some of that speed, clarity, and a sense of control. So I want you to picture this. You just closed your computer at the end of your workday. Maybe you've got into inbox 0 and you know that your inbox is completely clear. Now imagine waking up the next morning, getting to work, and opening up your inbox. The only emails that you see are the emails that arrived overnight, along with the reminders that you set for yourself for that day. So I've triaged all my emails, and this is what I'm left with. I've got 7 emails in my important split. We've got some reminders, a couple of auto drafts, and just some emails that I'm going to need to handle today. I'm going to process each one of these without stopping because there's nothing in my inbox that doesn't need to be handled today. There's nothing in here that I don't have time for. Now I'm going to go through these 7 emails and I'm going to use some of our incredible Superhuman features that is going to allow me to respond to these emails and handle them faster and get to inbox 0 that much quicker. So I'll start at the top of my to-do list, hit that enter key, and I don't really remember what happened with this email. I'm going to use one of our AI features, which is auto summarize by hitting I for information. If you look underneath my subject line, you'll see a bullet point summary of everything in this email. And oh, now I remember why I set this reminder for myself. I just needed to put my eyes on it before my meeting later today. And I'm just going to hit E for empty. Now I'm at the next email in my inbox. Alex has asked me a question, and I am simply going to respond using our Write with AI feature. So you can hit Command J if you are on a Mac computer, or Control J if you're on a Windows computer. It's this button right here. And I'm going to just type a prompt and tell it what I want. I've got a quick thing saved, so I'm going to let Alex know that we're going to YOLO it and use Excel for now. And I'm going to surface some potential concerns, and I would also like to add emojis. So I'm being very directive with my prompt. I'll hit enter. It's going to think, it's going to search, it's going to write in my voice and tone and give me a perfect response that sounds just like me with beautiful emojis ready to go. I'm going to send it off with Command or Control Enter. And now I'm at the next email in my inbox. Okay. Now, this is an auto draft, as you can see, that has come back to me because I sent Sinead this email. She didn't respond, and I want to follow up with her. So I'm going to review this auto draft, and I'm taking a look, and it's asked Sinead if she'd like to meet one-on-one so I can help her with her Inbox Zero workflow. And I want to offer some times. So I'm going to do just that. I can either click this little calendar button with the up arrow inside of it, or hit Command or Control Shift A. I'm going to take a look at mine and Sinead's week. I'm on the left, Sinead is on the right, and I'm going to grab maybe an hour today. We've got 30 minutes aligned tomorrow, 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, and an hour on Friday. If you take a look at the bottom of my screen, oh, that's perfect, celebrating Inbox Zero Week. I'm gonna let this be a 30-minute meeting. Now Sinead lives in California, so I'm gonna switch it to PDT time. And I have it automatically adding my Google Meet link. You can also use Zoom or Teams if that's what you prefer. But I'm gonna hit my Enter key and insert this into my draft where it leaves the live booking link where Sinead can book directly on my calendar, or she can just respond to the email as it's listed the days and times below. I'm going to go ahead and send that off. And now I'm at the next email in my inbox. Keep going. All right, here's another auto draft. I'm going to review it, make sure it's to my liking, and I want to make sure it sounds like me. And it does. So I'm just going to send it off, Command or Control Enter. Now I'm at the next email. Oh no. Okay, this is an email from Spencer. We've been going back and forth, for weeks about this outreach business, and I'm getting really frustrated, and I don't want to have to deal with this on my own today. And luckily, I don't have to. I'm going to open up our Ask AI feature. It's this AI button in the bottom right-hand corner, or you can hit the question mark to pop it open. And I'm going to say, draft a reply to Spencer and disagree with him and use an angry tone. So I was just as specific as I would like. Our Ask AI can do many things, including drafting emails on my behalf using the context of my emails with Spencer from the last 5 years. Oh my goodness, isn't this perfect? So I could just send the email, or I can insert the draft, take a closer look at it. Oh man, that was a little angrier than I'm used to. I can ask it to be a little more professional. Use a professional tone, and it will adjust that for me. It tells me what it's going to do first, then it does it for me, and it's going to write that email. I'm going to have it replace this draft. Ooh, respectfully disagree. Look at that first line. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, and I've replaced that draft, and then I can go ahead and send this off. And now I'm at the next email in my inbox. We're almost done. Keep going. Okay. Now Laura is asking about ROI, Superhuman's ROI. That's okay. I actually have a snippet ready to go. I'm either going to click this button with the curly brackets here or use the handy dandy semicolon. And I have one called ROI slide deck. Isn't that handy? With a hyperlink that will take Laura directly to our slide deck and answer her question in 2 seconds? Awesome. Okay, Laura sent over an invite for next week. Let me know if that time works. I remember that. Yeah, it works just fine. I'm going to use one of our instant replies to respond right away. And I can do that by hitting this tab key, and will do works for me. So I'm going to hit enter. Yep, looks good. I'm going to send it off, and boom. Oh, there we go. Oh, I got to send these, sorry, demo inbox problems. And it kicked back because Laura's not a real person, but that's okay. But I've addressed all of those emails in my inbox, and I'm pretty sure I didn't write any of those myself. That was a fast way to get through a lot of emails in a short amount of time. And these will continue to kick back a little bit because this is a demo inbox. But you can see what it looks like. You know, getting to inbox 0 gives you back time, not just in your 9 to 5, but in your 5 to 9 too. When your inbox is clear, you can focus on what really matters. Maybe that means connecting with customers or spending time with your family. Maybe now you finally have time to test that new feature your team just launched. With Superhuman, every email you clear creates more space for more meaningful work and life. So, do you remember how I said that most professionals check their inboxes 15 times a day? I have a recommendation. Instead of feeling attached to your inbox, what if you processed your emails like I showed you with E, J, and H 3 times a day? Once in the morning, once in the evening, and once in the middle of your day. So if you take a look at my calendar, you can see that I blocked off 3 30-minute times at the beginning of my workday, in the middle, and at the end to process my emails, where I can make sure that I am touching every single email in my inbox 3 times a day, where I know I'm on top of everything, but I'm in control, not my inbox. A question that I get all the time from our Superhuman users is, do I have to get to inbox 0 in all of my split inboxes every single day? And the answer is, it depends. In important, those are emails coming from real live humans. And I would definitely recommend getting to inbox 0 in important every day. Any other split inboxes that have emails coming from real people in them, I'd get to inbox 0 every single day. Maybe you've turned on our team split inbox or VIP. However, the other split inbox contains emails that are automated and hopefully not so urgent, and you can get to inbox 0 in other, I don't know, maybe once a week, and same with any other splits that you've created that have automated emails in them. If you do have an email coming into other that is urgent, I don't want you to miss those, so make sure you open up that email, hit Command or Control K, and move those to important. By typing in move to important, you can move just that one email, every email from that sender, or every email from the whole domain into important right now and from now on. Now, if you didn't know, now you know, you can always use Get Me to 0 anytime. So if you fall out of the habit of getting to inbox 0, please give yourself permission to reset. Superhuman will safely clear older emails into the done folder, giving you a fresh start while still saving your emails. And you can undo it. So just think of it as a pressure release valve when things pile up. You're just going to hit Command or Control K and type in the words Get Me to 0. And inside, you'll see a tool where you can decide how much email you want to leave in your inbox. Let's say I choose 3 days. And if you're feeling nervous and you want to leave your unread emails in your inbox as you're transitioning to Superhuman's workflow, you can click on More Options and keep all of your unread emails in your inbox, and then 3 days of read email. Superhuman will take everything else and save it to your done folder. All right, so my challenge to you is to get to inbox 0 today. Give Get Me to 0 a go. You won't believe how much better you will feel the next time you open your inbox. Today is the very last day of our Inbox 0 2 times referral promotion. So anyone that you refer to Superhuman will get 2 free months. And if they try Superhuman, you will get 2 free months in return. I have had customers who have received an entire year of Superhuman for free simply by referring 6 people to Superhuman. So let's do it together. Open up your inbox, hit Command or Control K, and type in refer to Superhuman. You're looking for refer to Superhuman. In here, you can send a referral to whoever you like. If you don't see them down below, you can type in their name right here. You can either send the referral link or you can copy your own referral link down here and send it over Slack or text someone with that link. But today is the last day. Typically it's 1 month free. Right now it's 2 months. Please take advantage of that. All right, let's wrap it up. And then we'll get into some questions. So inbox zero is not about perfection. It's about making space for what matters. With our shortcuts like E for empty, J for today, and H for the hour you want to be reminded, and tools like Get Me to Zero, you can reset your inbox, you can reclaim your time, and you can stay in control. So I invite you to join the challenge and take back your inbox, and let's see what inbox zero can do for your week. Inbox zero is possible, and with Superhuman, it's much faster, it's easier, and more rewarding than ever. So let's get there together. So we're going to move into our Q&A portion of this webinar. We're going to answer some live questions. We will be sticking around for about 15 extra minutes after the half hour if you want to stick around. But I think we should be good to start answering some questions. Okay, let's take a look. And I think that Megan might pop in to answer some questions, but I can't see, so I'm going to get started. And if she comes, she comes. Okay, oh, she's here. Do you want to start, Megan, and I'll pass a question to you?
I'm ready. Yeah,
Let's
let's do
do
it.
it. Okay. So someone shared that they are very impressed that you get to inbox zero in Slack, and they want to know how you tackle this.
That is such a great question. And I will be honest, it can be tough because Slack can get pretty chaotic. It moves quickly. What I try to do is approach it very similarly to how I handle my Superhuman inbox. So first is what I do is I triage. So I start by going through all my unreads that are directly for me. So either that I've been tagged in or a DM. If I can answer those in a few minutes or less, I just handle it right then and there. If it's going to take more time, I typically acknowledge the message so the person knows I'm working on it. I add it to my to-do list and then I prioritize from there. Now, that takes care of the messages that are directly for me, but I'm sure there's messages that you want to stay on top of and channels that you follow that aren't necessarily like tagging you directly. So for these, I rely on the Slack recap feature. You can turn this on in your settings. It gives you a quick summary of activity in the channels you select. So I can stay informed without having to scroll through so many channels. And from there, I can choose which areas I want to dig into a little deeper. So it's not perfect. Slack moves really fast, but this system really helps me stay on top of it a lot better.
Oh, great answer, Megan. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
answering that question. I have been working on getting to zero in Slack, and I'm really going to dedicate myself to that starting this week. I hope you all do too. All right, let's roll into another question. Um, Someone asked, how do you turn on auto drafts? An excellent question. Um, so if you are on either our business or enterprise plan, you can hit Command or Control K, and I'll have to see which it is in this demo inbox, but it should be Reminder Settings. I'm going to hit Enter. Oh, not anymore. Okay, things are changing. Stay tuned. Command or Control K, Auto Draft Settings. So if this is not available to you, please go to Reminder Settings and check the box at the very bottom that says turn on auto drafts. If you have access to this, you just want to make sure that you have auto drafts for follow-ups turned on. You can see we're in beta for a new feature coming soon, wink, wink. But for now, as long as you have those turned on in your reminder settings, if I could spell, you can decide when those auto reminders come back to you. So like you can specify the amount of days and specifically at what time. So let's say I wanted these to come to me at 7:30 a.m. When that auto reminder comes back, it will come back with an auto draft attached to it that I can review. And like you saw, I can edit it or I can go ahead and send it off. Okay. Another question we have says, let's say I've zeroed out a few weeks worth of emails as a new Superhuman user, but I'd love to deal with years worth of emails. What's the recommendation? Oh my goodness. Please declare email bankruptcy. Just kidding. Just save your emails to the done folder using get me to zero. So Command or Control K, get me to zero, is going to bring you to this tool. And I'm going to slow down for a second so you can really understand how it works. So you mentioned you zeroed out a few weeks worth of emails. What I would recommend is, in that case, leaving yourself with your most recent week of email, 1 week. And everything older than that is going to be saved to the done folder. A lot of people don't realize if you select a month, that's okay. But a month of email is often hundreds of emails that you're then going to have to process one at a time, which can take a lot of time. So I would consider maybe a week. If you're nervous about your unread emails, just leave them in there and then hit let's go. If at any point you try this and you're like, oh, I did too much, I want to go back and try again, you can hit Command or Control K and type in bulk actions. And here it will tell you what action you just took. I haven't taken one, but let's say I moved everything older than a month into my done folder. That will show here, and there will just be an undo button that you can click. And you've got 7 days to undo this action. So give it a go and see how it feels. All right, coming back. So here we go. Can I create templates adapted by AI in response to the email that can be dropped into an email? For example, a standard speaker confirmation email that AI has updated to include info on the event we're discussing in the email chain. Okay, so I'm going to read that again real quick. Templates adapted by AI that can be dropped into an email. Okay, so let's start with templates. We have an amazing template feature that you saw me use earlier called snippets. If you locate your folders in the top left-hand corner of your screen, you'll see that everyone has a folder called snippets. If you haven't used these yet, this is our template tool. You're going to see 6 snippets inside of there that we put there for you. It's just to give you an idea of what could be helpful. Feel free to edit them and make them your own, or delete them and start from scratch, but you'll see I have quite a few. And in here, you can create a template by either hitting C to compose or clicking on this pencil right here. And I'm going to make a private snippet for my eyes only. At the top, this is a description that is just for you. So I'm going to call this, what did we say? Speaker confirmation. And you can make this say whatever you want, but if you look at the bottom, do you see where it says add to BCC subject? I'm going to pick that one. And I want to make sure that I CC my manager every time I send this email. So I'm going to put Matt on the CC line. And that way I'll never have to CC him when I send this email again. And then I'm actually going to use Write with AI to write this snippet for me. So you can either hit Command or Control J. There's your AI button down there. And I might say, confirm live speaker and add event information or something like that, whatever's in the email chain. But I'm looking for something more generic that I can later ask AI to fill in for me. So it's going to write an email on my behalf, and then I can kind of tweak it as needed. Oop, maybe it's not. Well, that's okay. For now, I'm just going to write one, and I'm going to refresh my little demo account here. The demo gods have not been kind to me today. And let's just say speaker confirmation. Hello. Thank you for confirming. Here are the event details. And then I might grab a variable. If you look on the right-hand side of my screen, we've got some tips, which are amazing. You can simply highlight the one you want. I always use first name because it grabs your recipient's first name. Awesome. And I'm just going to leave this as is for myself to fill in later or AI. So I'm going to simply hit done to save it. And then I believe what this question is asking is I'm responding to an email thread. So let's see if I can go grab an email thread. I'm responding to an email thread and I want to add the details that were discussed in the thread. What you can do is hit enter, hit that semicolon to pull up your snippets. I called that one speaker confirmation, so I'm going to type in speaker and it will come right up to the top. I'll hit enter, and then I might use Ask AI by hitting the question mark. Oops, got to get out of this. The question mark to update event info from this thread. And there isn't, because this is not a thread talking about the event, but it will do its best to update. Oh, well, it figured it out. I'm going to say add to draft. So that's how I would do it. This is obviously kind of a jumbled way that I've made this work. But create the snippet, then ask AI for the context inside of the email. Hopefully that answers your question. If not, please continue to add to the Q&A. All right, we've got a couple more. I have been using Outlook and saving emails under specific client files so that I can access them easily. Is this functionality still available in Superhuman? Of course it is. So let's say this email needs to go into a folder. The long way for when you forget is Command or Control K, and you can type in the word move. You'll see that the shortcut is V on the right-hand side. I remember it like V for room. If you forget the word move, you can still type in the word folder, and Command K will know what you mean. But you can hit enter, type in the name of the folder. It'll come right to the top, or the subfolder, hit enter, and it goes right into that folder. The fast way is, let's say I already know this email needs to go in a folder. I'm going to hit enter, hit V for room. I want to put this in my go to market folder. I type it in, hit enter, and now it's in there. And you can do it from the inbox too, as long as the email is highlighted with that light purple focus bar, V for room. This one goes in my, brand folder. I hit enter and it leaves the inbox. Great question. Okay, I'm going to keep rolling. What emails do I need to save? What about emails I do need to save for future reference or for a specific event? How would you recommend working with that? Okay, great question. So we're going to pretend that this email right here is something that I need to save. You can do many things. First off, you can star or flag the email. The shortcut that we use to star or flag is S for star, even if you're in an Outlook account. So S will place a star right next to the subject line. Even if I mark it as done by hitting E, which I will right now, when I go into my starred folder, it'll be right there. So that's one way. You can also leave it in your inbox starred if you choose to. Another thing you could do is say, okay, I need this specific email for an event on, December 13th. Set the reminder. Take that mental load away from yourself and let Superhuman remember for you. So I'll just hit H for the hour I want to be reminded, and I can type in December 13th, and let's have it come in at 8 a.m. Or maybe I'm nervous. I'll have it come in the day before, December 12th at 8 a.m. And when I set this reminder, it will only come back to me Friday, December 12th at 8 a.m. if no one replies to this email. If someone does reply to it, it's going to come back to me as soon as the person responds so that I'm in the loop the whole time and I can always set another reminder on this email. I recommend leveraging reminders over starring because with starred emails, you have to remember to go back and find that starred email. But you can always, star an email and set a reminder on it and split the difference. Okay. Next question. Oh, is there a task management system within Superhuman? Okay, so Superhuman doesn't have its own dedicated task management system. However, we recommend using your inbox as a task list. We do have some options. If you need to, leave yourself some to-dos that specifically have nothing to do with your emails, you can hit Command or Control K and type in the word note. And what you'll see is note to self, and it actually sets you up to send yourself an email with whatever your task is. So let's say my task is like host a webinar, and I'm hosting a webinar, in January, and I don't want to forget. I could just send it to myself, or I could use send later, Command or Control Shift L, and I could have it come back to me, January 10th at whatever time I decide. And then my to-do will come back to me at the day and time of my choosing. Additionally, so let's say, let's do another one. Command K, note to self, eat a cookie. Nice. I sent it to myself right now. We do have what's called a split inbox library, where we have tried to think of any possible reason you might want to segment emails out in your inbox. And we do actually have one called Notes. And this will pull in all of your emails that are notes to self in one place. And all you have to do is just click turn on split inbox. And there's my note, eat a cookie. And I will eat that cookie. Great question. Okay, so we have one. Ooh, we have one for Megan. Wonderful. How long does it take to build personal or professional rituals into actual habits in your experience?
That is such a great question. And honestly, it's going to depend. For me personally, I have found that it takes a few weeks before something starts to feel natural. So, for example, the start my day routine that I do every single morning, as you could see, I put it on my calendar every day, but now that I've done it so often, it's just something that's automatically part of my daily rhythm. I don't have to be reminded to do it. It's just something I do every single day, and it feels very natural. One thing that I have done in the past is schedule a quick check-in a few weeks after starting a new ritual. So I put it on my calendar, check in on X ritual, and I like to ask myself, like, have I been following this consistently? Is it actually having the impact that I want it to have? And so this actually helps measure, is it too complicated? Am I not doing it consistently? And maybe that's a signal that it's not simple enough and it needs some adjustments. So I would say a few weeks. Obviously, it's going to depend on what it is and your daily rhythm, but give it a few weeks and then check in and ask yourself how it's going.
Thank you so much, Megan. It's important to check in with yourself about what you're doing, why you're doing it, and if it's working. Okay. Someone asked, is deleting emails not a part of the Inbox Zero workflow? That's a really good question. Technically, it isn't. However, you can get to Inbox Zero however you'd like. The reason why we don't push for deleting is because it can make those emails harder to search for later. Whether you're using our regular search tool or Ask AI, it can make it more difficult. However, feel free to delete. Command or Control K, and then delete or trash. The shortcut is the pound key. On a Mac keyboard, that's Shift 3. And on a Windows keyboard, it's also Shift 3, but you should be able to also hit the delete key on a Windows keyboard. And it does delete that email. My word of warning is if your account is based in Gmail and you delete an email, Gmail will hold that email for 30 days and then it is gone forever and you literally cannot search for it. In Outlook, it just goes into your deleted items folder and you can search for it. So take it all with a grain of salt. All right. We've got another question for Megan. Oh, interesting. When you pilot with a small group, and it's a three-part question, how do you choose who's in that pilot? How long do they usually run? And how do you measure whether a new initiative is actually working before you scale it company-wide?
Thank you so much for this thoughtful question. I love it. When I'm piloting something new, whether it's a process or a tool or a ritual, I like to start pretty small and very intentional with who I pull into the pilot. So usually I will pull in a group that's close to the work and also who will give honest and thoughtful feedback. So it'll be a mix of people who are early adopters, who are really excited about something, as well as a few people who might be a little bit more skeptical. So we can really get a range of feedback. and see how it's going to land across different individuals across the company. Now, as far as how long the pilot will run, it depends on the complexity, but typically 2 to 4 weeks is a good range. I think that's long enough to start to see some patterns about what's working, where there might be friction, but it's still short enough that it feels lightweight, adaptable, and that we can make progress towards what we're trying to achieve. And then finally, I think the last question was about how we measure success. I like to get feedback on a couple of things. Two, in particular, outcomes and sentiment. So, are we actually seeing the behavior or result that we wanted? And then, how do people feel that it's working for them? So, typically, we can do a short survey for the people who are in the pilot group. Um, if both of those line up, the data shows it's driving the impact we wanted, and the feedback is positive. That's typically the signal that it's ready to roll out more broadly.
Awesome. We've got one last question. I can answer it in 5 seconds, which is remind me the shortcut for scheduling and linking the calendar. So when you're drafting an email, it's called share availability, and it is Command or Control Shift A. You can always hover your mouse over this button and it will tell you exactly what the shortcut is. All right. Thank you all so much for making the time to be with us today to celebrate Inbox Zero. I hope you all get to Inbox Zero today or maybe this week. And we can't wait to see you again sometime soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone.